Hello and welcome to Jollyville Radio on KJVR. I'm your host, Jimmy Pykrust, coming to you from the Purple Street Studios here in beautiful downtown Jollyville. Today, we'll hear advice from Paul Fredrickson, hear about how cool stuff is made, and learn about how the UT Outpost helps students at the University of Texas. But first, I have some announcements. Jollyville Savings Time, which was once voted the number 2 most confusing city ordinance in the state, comes to an end this week, so don't forget to turn your clocks back by 47 minutes on Sunday. To the person who spray painted a dirty word on the side of Purple Street Studios last week, thank you for coming and covering it up after we mentioned it on air last week. We'd like to accept your apology note, so we've left 2 canvases behind the studio, one for you and one for us. We hope that you'll use them to make something beautiful. And now, let's hear from the sponsors of KJVR.
It's summer, and that means it's time for the exclusive line of summer fragrances at Stanky Candle Company. Take home the excitement of baseball with baseball-themed candle series with scents like sweaty catcher's mitt, dugout dampness, and old tobacco spit. Bring back fond memories of road tripping on a warm Texas night with Brownsville Bound, a blend of tar, exhaust, and hot roadkill. You won't find these candles anywhere other than the Stanky Candle Company. And introducing this year the all-new Allergenicana, made with all-natural ragweed and cedar pollen. Hurry today to Stanky Candle Company. You won't want to miss out on these unbelievable seasonal stanks.
KJVR Jollyville Radio is sponsored by Gold Rush Burgers, now open on Duval Road. At Gold Rush Burgers, the floors are so clean you can sleep on them at night. I know I sure do. Charlene, if you can hear this, I think there's something wrong with your phone. It keeps going to voicemail. Gold Rush Burgers. Our phones might not have service, but you'll have great service here. Thanks!
Welcome back to Better Call Paul with Paul Fredrickson, the handyman you can trust. Paul, our caller is Josh Slowstone. He's a neighbor in Jollyville who needs advice on staining a dining table.
Hey, Paul. Josh here. I'm a big fan. Well, I was on the hunt for a dining table that really spoke to me. I found a perfect 10-foot mid-century piece that just needed to be restained. I found some instructions and started sanding and staining, but I have to sand and stain the whole thing 3 more times before it's done. Is there a shortcut?
Hey, Josh, I'm afraid to say that there are no shortcuts. A piece that special takes time and love. My advice is buy an extra brush and more sandpaper and avoid electric sanders.
An electric sander! That's perfect! It'll go by so much faster. Do they sell electric stainers too?
No. You can't rush Mr. Slowstone. That's what the extra brush and sandpaper is for. You have a good date activity on your hands. Just like your table, your relationships need quality time. Ask your new girlfriend to join you. Make some lemonade and play her favorite songs. You can make something beautiful out of it.
Oh, okay. That's a good idea. I think I've got some instant lemonade somewhere here.
Instant lemonade. Well, okay. Good luck, Josh.
Gee, thanks, Paul. I can't wait to take my time.
Time and lemonade are special ingredients in a mayor. I'm devoted to taking the time for you and to squeezing the good in our community to make it better. Vote for me, Paul Fredrickson, for mayor of Jollyville.
Thank you to our callers for your questions. If you have upholstery woes, doorway doldrums, polish problems, or any DIY questions, you better call Paul, a handyman you can trust. Tune in again next week.
Hiya, my name is Tamberly, and this is Jollyville Radio. What? Oh, and this is KJVR.
This week on How Cool Stuff is Made. Time machines. The time machine originated in Jollyville at least 5,000 years from now and became a coveted transportation vehicle aeons ago. The time machine will be invented by Hannah Diaz, a Jollyville resident, inventor, and explorer. She is the great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-granddaughter of Elon Musk and the mother of Samuel, who served in the administrations of both Saul and David. The time machine industry has seen and will see many changes in recent years. For example, more and more robots will have been replacing humans and Christmas elves on the assembly line. In the workshop, the workers and robotic assemblers begin by putting together the front structure of the time machine. The front structure is composed of the flux capacitor bracket, radiator support, 2 side rails, and inertial dampening bumpers. These components will be attached with clips to the chassis and will be sent to the welding floor, where robots will have welded everything together the week before. Elsewhere, robot workers are attaching the front, side, and rear panels to the roof. All of the exterior components are made from solid pieces of hot-dipped galvanized electrum. Electrum is still used today due to the discovery of its time kinetic properties in the late 45th century. Passenger and storage doors are next installed on the time machine frame. At this point, an inspector checks that the time machine has no cracks, dents, and that all the openings can close flush with the rest of the body. If there are even minor imperfections, the passenger may end up who knows when, or worse yet, never was. Elf workers begin working on the wiring and electrical components, while humans install the seats, dashboards, upholstery, tiling, candelabras, and other interior components. The smaller elven hands make easy work of the delicate electrical components without the need for child labor. The time machine may be equipped with dash cams, mini fridges, entertainment systems, security systems, robotic butlers, and even smaller time machines. Custom time machines are also available in a variety of shapes and sizes, including steel-framed antique cars, hot tubs, police call boxes, and reindeer-drawn sleighs. The flux capacitors, batteries, and engines that power the time machine all arrive assembled from specialty factories. The engine components and the near-finished body need to be transported to the same timeline before additional assembly. The time machines made at this plant run on gasoline, kerosene, electric battery, condensed dark matter, peanut oil, hydrogen antihydrogen annihilation, diesel, solar, fusion, fission, and most hybrid combinations of those power systems. When the time machine comes off the final assembly line, workers start the engine and begin a few safety and space-time maneuvering tests before sending it to where and when you buy it from your local dealership. And with that, I'm afraid we're somehow out of time. Thanks for tuning in to How Cool Stuff is Made.
For KJVR in Jollyville, I'm Julia Stonewash. Now it's time for Community Beat, where we leave Jollyville to talk to real people doing great work in their community.
All right. This is Jollyville Community Beat with UncleASAR, where we turn the spotlight on good people doing great work in the real world. Today I'm speaking with Will Ross, staff advisor of UT Outpost, a food pantry and career closet for students attending the University of Texas at Austin. How's it going, Will Ross?
It's good. How are you?
I'm good. So Will, talk to us about UT Outpost.
We found in a recent study that 1 in 4 of our students at UT deals with food insecurity. So you can imagine that's a pretty substantial portion of our population that are not knowing where the next meal comes from, decreasing their portion size just to make ends meet, or even just skipping meals because they don't have enough food to survive. And you can imagine if you're a student here and you're not feeding your body as you should be, that your brain is starving. And so you won't be able to focus as well and be as successful in the classroom. So food insecurity is definitely a problem on our campus. And that's one thing that our program tries to do, is combat that by providing our students with a steady supply of food so they can get that nourishment, not be having to skip meals, and ultimately be successful.
Are food and clothing items bought by the university or donated?
So we get our clothing donated to us, and a lot of that comes from students who have maybe an extra outfit, Texas Law, Bar Association, and different professional organizations, which is super awesome. And then we get our food also from students who are doing food drives, faculty and staff doing food drives. And then we buy food from our financial gifts. So those come from our donors who support the program.
How can the public get involved with helping UT Outpost provide food and other items for students?
Yeah, that's a great question. The public can get involved by providing that financial gift. With those donor dollars, we're able to secure food safely from our suppliers. And so, for example, on a weekly basis, we get fresh produce from U.S. Foods and some key food groups that are shelf stable from U.S. Foods. So we're talking about a canister of oatmeal. We're talking about bananas, avocados, apples, oranges, potatoes, all sorts of things that our students can create meals at home, but also be able to quickly create a breakfast, like if it was oatmeal, whatnot. So that's one of the biggest things that we need right now, is the financial gifts, so we can maintain that supply and get it directly from our suppliers.
Is there a web address or email they can reach you at?
So folks who are interested in making that financial gift, they can simply go to our website, which is honestly an easy Google search. If you type in UT Outpost, UT Austin, it's one of the first links that pops up. If you go, once you're on our website, there is a little link that says make a financial gift. You just click on that tile and it goes directly to the website to make those financial gifts. And it goes directly to our program, so we can continue to serve our students and provide those meals that they need, especially now during COVID-19, and making an even more impact on our students' lives.
Thanks for talking to us today, Will Ross, and we wish you the best of the best.
You all too. Thank you.
Thank you. This has been Jollyville Community Beat with UncleASAR. No one can do everything, but everyone can do something. Peace.
The creative team who wrote and recorded Jollyville Radio includes UncleASAR Akabeline, Emily Ansonik, Lizzie Brister, Michael Crosa, Michelle Darcy, Richard Dayries, Asa Gardiner, Brian Green, Susanna Kay, Pilar Keperda, Brian Routson, and Thomas Schlitt. It is directed by Michael Crosa with lead editing provided by Montsi Santillan and social media help from Amy Costa. The recording was made in accordance with social distancing. We'd love to hear from you. We welcome questions for Paul, nominations for Community Beat, and any other suggestions for things happening in Jollyville. Find us on the web at jollyvilleradio.com or on Facebook and Instagram at Jollyville Radio. Jollyville Radio is a production of Jollyville Brass Quintet, member of Austin Creative Alliance. We are based in Austin, Texas. For KJVR, I'm Jimmy Pykrust. We'll see you next time on Jollyville Radio.